Okay, everyone. So let's go ahead and go through with how to do a matching question. And we're looking at reading passage one. This is from the Cambridge book number 8, which again is one of the books that I teach from when I teach my classes. And it's one of the books that I'm using to teach this online class to you. I encourage you to go out and get the book because you can't get the book from this course. You have to go out and get the book on your own. And I encourage you to go get it because it's very good. They are the best books to use, so that's what I recommend. All right. All right. So we're doing a matching question. As I told you earlier, with a matching question, what you have to do with a matching question is you have to look at the words in a box and then pick which one of the questions matches the language that's found for that word in the box. So it's a very easy question to understand in terms of strategy. The biggest challenge is you have to read the sentence in the passage and then find the parallel synonym match to one of the questions. So that's the real challenge. But it's the same two things over and over and over again. Finding and locating the sentence, understanding it, pick the synonym match. Okay? That's the same thing that they're testing over and over and over again. And that's what you have to be aware of when it comes to doing IELTS reading comprehension. Okay, so now if you notice with this set of questions, this is interesting. I'm going to go off on a little sidebar. You see the first set of questions here is a paragraph location question. It says which paragraph contains the following information, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So this question appears first. It's before the matching question. But when I'm doing this, like I've told you, you don't do the paragraph location question first, okay? Because it doesn't go in order, and if you try to do it first, you're going to end up reading the whole reading passage and wasting all your time. Okay? So we wouldn't do the paragraph location question first. All right? What we would do is we would look at numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 and circle the key words in each one, like timekeeping and cold temperatures, explanation of the importance of geography and a calendar, and farming, pendulum clock, really good, and simultaneous efforts to calculate time and uniform hours. So I would circle those keywords for the paragraph location question, and then I would leave it. Don't do it right now. Leave it. Okay? And then you want to do your matching question. Here's our matching question right here. And we also have a diagram question. So if you had a passage like this that had this set of questions, paragraph location, matching, and diagram, do your matching question, do your diagram question. As you're doing your matching and your diagram question, look out for those keywords from the questions for the paragraph location, because then it's going to make it much easier to come back and do that question. Much, much easier to come back and do that question. All right, because we went ahead and we circled our keywords for each one, and then we know what to look out for. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to our matching question, and here we go. We have 4 questions, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we have 6 names in the box. Okay, so that means 2 of the names don't belong. Okay, 2 of the names don't belong. All right, now for this one, it doesn't tell us that we can use a name more than once. It doesn't say it doesn't. If you could use a name more than once, it will tell you. Okay, that's the answer to that question. So if you could use Babylonians twice, if you could use a twice, you would see in the instructions up here, it would say you may use a letter more than once. It would say it. Okay, so because it doesn't say that, okay, the rule is you can't use a name more than once. All right, understand? For you to use a letter more than once, it has to explicitly say you have permission and the ability to do so. All right? That's what that means, and that's how we have to interpret that. Okay? All right, so all right, so we have our names here: Babylonians, Egyptians. So what we have to do, go find Babylonians, read the sentence where we see Babylonians, and then see if the information in the sentence where we see Babylonians is a match for 5, 6, 7, or 8. And the good thing is these words in the box are going to be easy to find. Proper nouns, easy to find. Okay, here's Babylonians right here. And actually, as I'm scanning down, we see Egyptians right here. Okay? All right, so here's Babylonians right here. So let's read this sentence. Do a quick check to see if I see we have Egyptians twice. There's Greeks, there's Romans. There's Germany. There's French, France. There's England. All right, so I see all the names. I don't see Babylonians again, so I know it's going to be this sentence right here. All right, so it says, I'm starting right here in paragraph A. All right, according to the archaeological evidence, at least 5,000 years ago, and long before the advent of the Roman Empire, the Babylonians began to measure time, introducing calendars to coordinate communal activities, to plan the shipment of goods, and in particular to regulate planting and harvesting. All right, so it says the Babylonians, right here, the Babylonians began to measure time, introducing calendars to coordinate communal activities. So they introduced calendars to coordinate activities, to plan the shipment of goods, and in particular to regulate planting and harvesting. Alright, so let's look and see if that's a match for anything. They devised a calendar where the months were equal. We saw nothing about being equal. Divide the day into 2 equal halves. Nope. They developed a new cabinet shape for a timekeeper. Nope. They created a calendar to organize public events and work schedules. Okay, that's a match. Okay, that's a match. To coordinate communal activities, that's synonym for organizing public events. And then when it talked about regulating planting and harvesting, that's the same thing as having a calendar for work schedules. So number 8, for number 8, we know that the answer is A. So on our answer sheet, we would put A as our answer for number 8. All right, so now let's go and look and see what it says for Egyptians. All right, here's Egyptians right here. All right, so the Egyptians had formulated, here in paragraph C, first sentence. Paragraph C, first sentence. The Egyptians had formulated a municipal calendar having 12 months of 30 days, with 5 days added to the approximate solar year. So they had 12 months of 30 days. Now, if we look at the other sentence with the Egyptians, it says the cosmic significance the Egyptians placed in the 12 deacons led them to develop a system in which each interval of darkness was divided into a dozen equal parts. All right, so 12 months, 30 days. So they divided it into equal parts. And we can see that that is a match for, because we saw it earlier, they devised a civil calendar in which the months were equal in length. All right, so for number 5 on our answer sheet, we would put A. For number 5, for our answer sheet, we would put B for Egyptians. All right, now keep in mind for reading comprehension, you have to put your answers on the answer sheet right away. Okay? You have to put your answers on the answer sheet right away, because at the end of reading, it's over. It's not like listening where they give you time. They give you time afterwards to be able to mark your answers. Okay? So mark your answers right away. All right, let's look at for Greeks. We already saw all the ones. Let's see. Temporal hours, which were, here's Greeks right here, everyone. Right here. Here's Greeks. Temporal hours, which were first adopted by the Greeks and then the Romans, who disseminated them through Europe, remained in use for more than 2,500 years. Temporal hours, which were first adopted by the Greeks. Okay, I don't see that as a match for anything. 2 equal halves, no. New cabinet shape, no. 5 and 8 are already gone. So Greeks is not a match for number 6 or number 7. For the Germans, it says Italian hours begin at sunset, Babylonian hours at sunrise, astronomical hours at midday, and great clock hours used for some large public clocks in Germany at midnight. No match for anything. Eventually these were superseded by small clock or French hours, which split the day into 2 12-hour periods. Alright, so the French split the day into 2 12-hour periods. I think that's a match. Yeah, that's a match for number 6. They divide the day into 2 equal halves. So Germany doesn't match anything, but the French, the correct answer for number 7 is F. I'm sorry, the correct answer for number 6 is F. And then number 7, we know it's going to be English because we've seen everybody else. Develop a new cabinet shape. And right here we see England. So we're talking about the English. All right. The earliest recorded weight-driven mechanical clock was built in 1283. The revolutionary aspect of this new timekeeper was neither the descending weight that provided the motive for force nor the gear wheels. So it's talking about building a clock with the English. So we know that the correct match for number 7 is English, which is D. All right. So now, a couple of things that I'll mention right now, even though we finished the matching question, we can see for the paragraph location question, we can actually see some of the answers right now. We know, because this question is asking which paragraph do you see this information. So by doing the matching question first, we can see that for number 3 with the pendulum and clock, we just read that. All right, the pendulum clock. That was mentioned right here in paragraph G. Pendulum clock, pendulum clock is right here. Okay, about the pendulum clock. Also, by doing the matching question, we actually know the answer to also number 4. Because number 4 says simultaneous efforts of different societies to calculate time using uniform hours. We know that that is from paragraph E, where it talked about the Babylonian hours, the German hours, and then the French splitting the day into 2 12-hour periods. So uniform hours, right? 24 equal parts. So we know that that information comes from paragraph E. So by doing the matching question first, and then doing the paragraph location questions after, you can actually get a really good idea for maybe where one or two of them where this information is located. And that's why I say don't do it first. All right, so that's just a little bit of a tidbit or advice for you in terms of handling that paragraph location question. Okay, all right. So if you're doing the whole course, the next thing we're going to be addressing after this is the paragraph location question, and we're going to be coming back to this actual reading passage to do it. So it should be able to make a lot more sense to you then also. So talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.